well, real estate's happening for you and people that are working the business, working yourself, making yourself visible. But you're out there doing the activities to get these people to call you and continue to refer you so that you stay busy and produce.
And it's funny.
Top producer.
You too. But still, like, you just get that feeling like, and even when all that was going on, I'm like, I'm not doing enough. On today's episode, we are talking about the highs and lows, things that pushed us to the brink. You have to be pushed to a breaking point in order to know where you're going to go. And Heidi and I have been through different experiences, but that's also what brings us together because we've had so much different adversity in our lives. But yet it always is a chapter that brings you to something new. And today we're going to talk about all those different chapters that we experience.
It's all you, babe.
My two favorite things
are we going to get a shot?
Champagne.
A shot?
A shot,
This is like the most beautiful bottle.
Is it gonna...
This looks like a beautiful lady in business. All right, what's 2 fun facts about you?
Oh, I don't know.
As I open this.
Wait a minute. Fun fact.
Fun fact about you. Something random.
It's not fun, though. See, my mind goes right to, I used to be really chunky, and I had weight loss surgery.
Oh.
But that's not a fun fact.
Okay.
Is it? Actually, it was a
think it's a fun
conversation
fact.
at our Christmas party last week. They're like, wait, what? Go back. They're like 2 minutes later. And I'm like, yeah, I used to be, They're like, no way. I had to pull out the pictures. Be like, okay, here I am as a little bit hefty girl,
Oh! Okay. That is a fun fact because no one would ever know that.
Really?
I think it's good that you share it.
Thank you.
Had to be
Cheers,
hard,
boob.
right? Cheers.
All right, wait. Fun fact.
Okay. What's your favorite color?
I have no true answers, I don't think.
Really?
Wait, I love pink. What am I talking about?
Wait a minute.
Hot pink. Hot pink.
Cheers. Cheers to pink.
Cheers, mama.
Pink's my favorite color, too. So we are officially at the end of the year, and you started a new position.
Oh, my God. Yes, I did. Put
So
this down.
what are you doing now?
So 6 months ago already, I decided to take a position that was offered to me. Took me a hot minute to decide if it was something I wanted to do because I own my own business, so making that move was not an easy one.
Right.
It was something that I didn't even realize I was dreaming up that I wanted.
Yeah,
And
sometimes
so-
you don't know
Yeah.
until you know.
I wanted more. I just didn't know what that looked like. So you start putting out in the universe, like, all right,
Absolutely.
I want to do more of this, this, and this. I don't know how to get there because I own a brokerage. I'm busy working with my buyers and sellers. Or maybe I'm not busy and I'm spending more time with the family and doing things that aren't activities within real estate that you're just doing because you're doing, like I'm brainstorming and doing motions, but it's like, okay, what else can I be doing? And so over a year, I would say, prior to taking that position, I was dreaming up other things that I would like to do in addition to my normal real estate life.
Yeah.
And so when the opportunity presented itself, I was listening wholeheartedly. If I had been approached even 6 months prior to that, I probably wouldn't have even considered
Yeah.
what.
I think timing is like absolutely,
100%.
timing matters so much in who you meet, who you're spending your time with, who you're thinking about, what you're thinking about, what you're doing.
Yeah. So it was just incredible because I'm like talking to my husband about it one night and my thoughts are like going like wild. I couldn't even focus. We were at an event, actually. You were at that event when I was approached about it. Yeah. And I'm like, can't even focus. I'm watching other agents up on the panel and I'm like, this could
Oh my
be
gosh.
it.
I know what event we're talking. Okay. So the real estate summit.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that one. It was
Wow.
a different one. It was the Real Producers event.
Okay.
I think
Wow.
Hassan Khan was up there talking at the time or
yes.
whatever.
Okay.
And I'm nibbling my cheese and crackers and I'm like, well, maybe this is what the answer is. Maybe this is what I was after all this time. And I'm putting more cheese in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't wait to get home to talk to Jay about it because I'm like, I don't know what this looks like. I don't know, what the time commitment looks like or what any of it is except, wow, I could be a part of something really big. And so bigger than bigger than me, bigger than
Right.
what I already had created. And that's why I think ultimately it was so easy for me to hang up the hat, hang up
Yeah.
my business and just go balls to the wall, forgive me,
Well, you know what?
on something new.
Yeah. And I think people think sometimes like, okay, well, like this is my trajectory. This is what I have to do. This is what I should do. But like, what do I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you were like dealing with that a lot, trying to figure out that decision.
Yeah.
And what you think other people want for you. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's just like this point, and maybe that's where you got to, where you're just like, okay, like this makes sense for this year and this part of my life, this chapter, because they're
Yeah.
all so many different chapters, right?
Precisely.
So it's awesome that like now you are giving back to like, how many years have you been in real estate?
I've been in real estate 16 years in March.
Like, unbelievable.
It-
16 years is a long time
Yeah.
to like be in this industry and do really well. I mean, you've done it all. Tell
Well-
everybody what you've done. Like,
Well, I got to say, before we get into that part,
okay.
I was thinking about this earlier this morning. Did I think when I got my license in 2009 that I was going to be a lifer? When you really sit back and think about it, when I was 28 years old, I didn't really know who I was still. You
Right,
know,
of
I
course.
had two, wait, did I? What time? 2000?
28?
No, I didn't have my second baby yet.
But still,
I did
like-
have my 7-year-old-ish at the time. And so I was still very much timid and didn't know who I was. And I didn't technically finish college. And I wanted to be a state trooper. And that
my gosh.
never came to, because I was a big girl. I couldn't.
Oh my-
There's no way, on top of being someone who has a difficulty taking exams and passing and getting a good grade on top of it, to even be reachable. Then on top of it, if you do get the call when it comes to being a state trooper or police officer,
Sure.
you have to be able to do the agility test and all of the things that go with it. So I was just setting myself up for failure all along, but it set me up for something different.
Sure.
And so,
What made you excited about police? Like,
I don't know. Like I
Just
just
was always
I
a
think it was a
drive?
very strong, because I felt, I think potentially always so weak in my mind,
Okay.
that being a police officer would make me stronger. And the problem is I can't stop smiling. So I pulled you over because you were speeding. What are you doing? I don't think that I could have been taken serious. I'm sure I could have trained myself and been
Yeah.
a great officer, but for whatever reason, he made me go in another direction, had other plans for me.
yeah. And look how strong you are on like everything you've had to overcome.
That's who's made me today. That's what's made me who I am today.
Yeah.
And so when I think back to, like I was just thinking about this morning, when I got my license, did I even think that I was going to be in real estate like a lifer?
Yeah.
No, I didn't think it was really something like that. I just knew that I worked at the doctor's office and I loved it, but I knew there was more for me.
Right.
There had to be. I just felt so insignificant at the time, and that I couldn't
Sure.
help in the household that I was in, and that I was constantly every day kind of, what's the word?
Maybe
I had,
just
to, I had to
uneasy.
ask my husband for
Yeah.
$1.52 or 32 every
Right.
day for coffee at the time, and he's no longer my husband. But that's just something that made me crazy back then. That
Yeah.
I couldn't even afford my cup of coffee every morning, and so there was more for me. I wanted to show my kids what it was like to go after the things that you want, and I just really
Yeah.
never stopped, and I still haven't. So I have no idea what our life looks like, my life looks like in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if
Yeah.
it's just within Howard Hanna or if it's something even bigger.
Right.
And so don't take that the wrong way. I'm like totally loving my job,
She loves it. She's not going anywhere.
but you
Right
just
now.
don't know
Yeah, you're just going to
where
fall.
you're going to be in 10 years, 20 years and whatnot.
Right.
But no, I never thought that when I got my license that I would actually be a lifer. I just thought that I was going to get like 1 to 2 transactions,
Sure.
5 a year to help out. And so you get that taste and
Yeah.
you actually start realizing you're good.
Right.
And that you're really good with people. And thank God for this job because, if it was something where I did need, a major, what do you call it when you go to college and it's a, look at, I don't even know what that's called.
Degree, a master's. Okay, yes.
If you need a master's to do, anything remotely more than a clerical position
well,
that
listen,
I held.
16 years is a PhD. That is a PhD straight in real estate. If you're in it that long, I mean, you're absolutely an expert.
I try. We keep learning every day. But let me ask you. So how long have you been in real estate?
So literally 8 years ago, on like December 5th, I signed up for the course. And on December 31st, I got my result. And so 8 years ago, I officially became a real estate agent and then started in January of 2017.
Oh my gosh. And you've been full force since?
So my first year, I had about 2.5 hours between 9 and 11:30. It was drop off for Montessori kids care. And I had 2.5 hours. So I was like a part-time assistant for the manager of my Saratoga Coldwell Banker office. And I was just learning and doing anything she asked at any specific time. And I started using some efficiency in our office that I had used from coaching and team stuff that I had. And I just started learning. And I was at my mentor's house, who was a top producer. And I would literally show up at 7 a.m. And I'd be like, hey, drop my kid, or 7:30. I drop my kid off. I got 3 hours. I'm just going to literally observe you and watch you.
Yeah.
And she probably thought I was such a psycho. And I tell people that all the time, come with me for the day, come shadow me, come do whatever. You really want to be successful, go watch somebody be successful.
Yep.
And I've only had one person ever still take me up on that.
Really? Isn't that something?
And I'm blown away by that. If you want to be successful, go watch the best, highest performer do it.
Yep.
Because in athletics, you're watching these people on the TV or, right, whatever you're aspiring to be. If you're a dancer, if it doesn't have to be sport related, but you should probably immerse yourself in that culture and be around those people because you're more likely to succeed.
I think people are scared. I think some people are scared to succeed.
I think so too.
I think they're scared to, or I'm just going to say it, are they lazy?
Yeah.
They want to be handed everything.
I do think there's a fine balance between the two. And I think the fear and then maybe the laziness, they come together. But it's if you can just get over that fear, if you fail, you fail. It's okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say that's one of the things for me that probably sets me apart maybe is I just will run through the fucking brick wall.
Yeah, same way.
I mean, not in the sense of if it's going to really hurt me, but sometimes you don't know what's going to hurt you until you actually just fully commit. Or you have to get totally pushed down in order to rise back up.
So speaking of getting pushed down, is there any experience you've had in your life where you've been pushed down that you want to tell everybody about today?
Yeah. All right. So recently, I would say for this past year, the last 22 months, I would say we've gone through hell and back, highs and lows, all the things. We've had a contractor steal $225,000 from us, which I don't usually openly speak about, but I think it's really important for people to know that although things can seem really, really great, you're also dealing with a lot of adversity. And we were told from the police to the lawyers, you're not going to see a dime of that back. It's not going to happen. And we were able to actually settle with this person, keeping a potentially cordial enough relationship to say, we don't want you to go to prison. We don't want you to lose your children. Damn. We don't really want those things, but we also have to think about survival for our family. Mm-hmm. And so the last year was really tough because we also had a house we had to put back together and we had done all the right things and it was just absolutely crazy. We're sitting here about a year ago now with our house ripped open to the sky and we were just oh my gosh, what do we do? So fast forward, I learned a bunch of new skills because what are you supposed to do? Rely on somebody else, pay someone else to take it over. No one's going to give it the thought and the energy like you are, right? Just like your kids. You can hire a babysitter, you can do all these things, but at the end of the day, you are the one that's really going to be the glue and put it back together. because no one cares as much as you care about your stuff. So that happened to us. We ended up, selling 2 of the properties we ended up wanting to save for our kids' college and things like that. But now, like, retrospectively looking back, I'm like so happy that we did that, because now it's not, extra burden, extra insurances, extra this, extra that. And like, it's almost simplified things to almost a less is more. Mm-hmm. We have this beautiful house. We have these things that we ended up still accomplishing. But oh my gosh, like, we literally at one point were like $200,000 in the hole. Like, what are we going to do? So yeah, like, that was my commitment to work 3 years in 365. So this is the best real estate year that I've had. And it was literally sure determination of like, I have to survive or I literally won't be able to put like food on the table or figure it out.
That's why when I talk about, failure is not an option.
Like, it can't
And, taking it is not an option. And that just, it resonates with me on a different level, obviously, because I didn't go through what you went through. But it's those things, I have goosebumps just thinking about this actually right now, because it's whenever something comes in our way, we are like lionesses, right?
Oh my gosh.
We
Yes.
are so protective, and we just want to do everything we can. Again, the goosebumps are taking over the body.
I know. I can like feel it in the room.
We do what we have to. I mean, nothing crazy or anything like that, but we do what we have to survive and to get us out of that situation, or, pushed through and up the mountain and looking back like,
Yeah.
So,
but also you don't know if the things you're doing are actually so that's the fear thing. So I ended up spending more money this year on advertisements. I spent more money on publications, and like, we both host a show, which we'll go into. Like, I didn't even know where that was going to come from, but I had to do it in order to like take the level of real estate to like another level. In order to make more, you have to do something different. Yep. So
isn't that incredible what we do? We might be in a position where we're like, oh no, what are we going to do? Or I'm covering up so I don't say anything scary. But like,
tell us about
I don't want to swear. So like,
we just
swearing. Like
it's totally good.
The oh shit moments, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, but I think I'm going to do this in order to go this route, and just blow it out of the water. And we do it scared and afraid, and there's just no bullshit, no holding back.
Yeah, well, and the thing
not
is that
knowing the result.
You have to believe in yourself more than anybody else believes in you at those moments. And you're already at your lowest point, but there's no way that you can. If we sat there and didn't do anything, our house would have just stayed open. The value would have dropped. It would have been completely flooded. It was already open for 2 weeks when it was like pouring, raining, snowing.
Oh my God.
So it was like, okay, well, we could sell it. And I'm like, know the numbers in and out on the real estate side. We maybe could have made what we bought it for, but I don't know. The house is ripped open. So like, who's really giving me what I want? Most people are negotiating at that point. And we wanted a house with a yard. So going back to the condo really didn't make sense where we were living. And it's just like at those moments you go, all right, well, I guess we got to just keep going through, because at the end of the day, even if we finish it, we could still sell it.
Yep.
I don't know where that money's coming from. We ended up talking to a financial advisor. There were so many different things. Like, how do we make $0 become like 50,000, become 100,000, become like, and you just don't know, but you just have to keep asking questions and being curious. Otherwise, you're just going to be in the same exact spot.
That's why I think you and I connect so much, more than we realize, because we won't take no for an answer, and we will figure things out, hopefully for the best.
Right,
so it doesn't always work out that way, but we literally will try everything, turn rocks over, and really just like strive to figure it out because that's all we know.
I remember sitting in one of our appointments for our kitchen, and like I had met with her so many times, and she said, okay, well, this is what it's going to cost with the vanities, this and that and the other thing. And I just went like, where's that going to come from? And like, how am I going to pay for that? And then I remember like, I just like looked at her and she was like, oh, do you want to like put this on a 12-month interest-free payment plan? And that's just where you go like, oh my gosh, somehow it just came. But thank God that one person said that one thing that led me to, okay, that freed up that. Because then we had to pay for all of our furniture up front because we were supposed to be in the showcase of homes. And these are things I definitely haven't talked about, which is like crazy. And I don't want to take up like all the time. But like, I was like, wait, you can't like take that over payments or over time. And she's like, no, because they're like custom pieces that have to be ordered 12 weeks in advance. And like, how are we going to do that? And I was like, that's a great question. I don't know. Let me call you in about like 24 hours.
Yep.
So it was just like madness. And everyone thinks you're doing super great because they're like, you're so busy. And I was like so happy the real estate was happening.
Well, real estate's happening for you and people that are out there working and pushing. What I mean is working the business, working yourself, making yourself visible. Not like you're pushing on your clients. That's not what I mean. But you're out there doing the activities to get these people in general to call you and continue to refer you so that you stay busy and
I know
produce.
And it's funny,
Top producer.
You too. But still, like, you just get that feeling like, and even when all that was going on, I'm like, I'm not doing enough. Like
we
I
always
feel like,
do that to ourselves.
Right? Why do we do that?
We punish ourselves because we always
silly.
think there's more that we can be doing. But the fact of the matter is that we're just, we do the best we can and we just keep going.
We are doing
cheers.
The best we can. Cheers to that.
Mine's
do the
always
best
going.
you can, but don't tell yourself you're doing the best you can and not do it. So that's something that bothers me.
Well, I actually
Action
see
is
that.
so important.
I see that a little bit. There's so many people that want to, real estate obviously is what I know. So in what I see, there's so many people that I've talked to, and I don't mean in my office, but there's people that I talk to that want to do a lot of real estate business, but they don't do the activities to gain the business. They actually just want it to be handed to them or fallen in their lap. And I'm just like, that's not the way it works.
Right.
You have to put yourself
Yeah.
out there. What kind of activities do you suggest agents should do? Like we're talking about, you offer people to be able to shadow you, you know, in order to learn the business and everything that they should be doing to become a successful agent like yourself. What kind of activities should they be doing in order to gain traction and eventually earn a client, customer?
Okay, so I think number one, you should be talking about what you do every single day. And if you want to be working in certain areas, you need to be frequenting those restaurants. You need to be going to different things in your community. So for me, I'm all about the relationship. I've never been like a cold caller. I've still never bought a Zillow lead to this day or realtor lead, even though those calls come in every day of spam.
Lucky girl.
Constant.
Right.
Which is great. Keep doing those things. If you're one of those recruiters, that's awesome. You're doing your job to reach out. That's great. But the activities are just like, go show up and do it. Like, so for me, 3 years ago, I started getting on social media consistently as much as possible, saying that I was a real estate agent. If you needed help buying, selling, I'm happy to help you in some capacity. I also like really feel confident about texting and checking in with clients and just providing the best exceptional service that I absolutely can and teaching them something that they wouldn't know. So like if you're going to be an expert in some area, then like you need to know something that's different than somebody else. For example, if you're a seller, you can pre-sign and you don't have to be there.
Right.
A lot of people, no matter what industry you're in, you're busy. So if you just let them know, hey, you can actually have your paperwork signed because you're on the listing side, you don't actually need to show up to the closing.
Right.
I can't even tell you, just that piece of information alone has had so many clients say, thank you for just like getting my day back.
Yeah.
And I said, did you know that the closing can actually happen faster because now there's not 10 people sitting at a closing table?
Right.
And I like explain like the process. I feel like I also wanted to know the back stuff, and that started because I was like an admin for someone.
Uh-huh.
So like sending emails, sending texts, like just always being top of mind, but that involves action.
Exactly.
And people just think it's going to come. Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you find that now that you're a manager,
Yeah.
do you find that people look at you differently?
Yeah. Yeah. Like clients or people in general?
Just
everybody? Yes.
Yeah, like maybe the
Especially-
different way you feel when you're in different rooms.
It's been 6 months and I'm
crazy.
slowly getting, and in a year it's going to be different, but like it slowly starts feeling a lot more different. Like when I walked in 6 months ago, I felt like an agent filling in for somebody almost.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It's like the assistant to the head coach.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
Yeah. And I still feel, I mean, Bree is such a wonder, such a beautiful human. And I feel so blessed and lucky because even though she's our regional manager and I took her spot, she's upstairs.
Yeah.
So it's like
such
she's
a
there. She's obviously there, but she's not gone. She's literally at my fingertips. I can run up. Keep going. I feel like super blessed because she's like right there and I could just run up to her. But not only that, Joel, who is such an amazing person and wealth of knowledge, like I am so lucky to have him too. He walks by the office and I'm like,
Yeah, so
my
you
guy.
feel that difference.
I feel, yeah. So here I am, little Heidi, walking in, trying to, win these people over. And I don't want to say recently, but like as every day goes on, I'm like, I think that they trust me more as time goes on.
Of course they do.
And I think that I just assumed coming in that everyone would trust me out of the gates, and that's not the case.
Yeah, you got
it really takes time, and I can appreciate that, and I can actually understand as more and more time goes on. I'm like, wow, I probably would have felt the same way if I, had a new manager coming in. Show me you care before I'm going to trust what you say in a way,
Of course.
It's bizarre, but
And you have all different personalities that you're managing when you're a manager.
My goodness, it's so awesome. So I've been having some business planning meetings with a lot of the agents that are in the office that are there all the time. So there's 85 agents in our office, but I've seen consistently maybe 40.
Okay. Yep. Makes
'cause
sense.
A chunk of them live in other states and they come in and out. And like today, we had the beautiful Peggy Evans pop in, and I was like, oh my God, you're here. I didn't know you'd be coming in. Here's your Christmas gifts. I love you. Like, you're so sweet. She's like, what? But anyway, it's like, it's so cool because, automatically people start, they recognize you as the manager. Yeah. But I'm also still in the field. I'm also going to still be like working with them on negotiating and what to do next. And wait, keep me involved. I want to know if you get a new listing or if you're going on an appointment. I want to know because I want to help you if you need it.
Right.
We can brainstorm together. I am literally a plethora of knowledge for you, and I want to help you. So that was part of the reason why I wanted this position. Yeah. Like I said, a year had been dreaming about more. There's more for me. I want to help people. I want to help people be better than me. And so as the agents in the office that I work in anyway, they start realizing that actually is a true statement. And I'm willing to stop what I'm doing. You walk in my office, sit down, let's talk about it. And I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
In whatever that may be. It might not even be real estate related. It might be just something that's happening in your life right now. I care. I want you to come and see me and let's talk about it. So it's just really cool.
And Heidi really does care. Like, she literally is one of the nicest, sweetest people like you've ever met. And if you just want to have an organic, authentic conversation with her, like, she's not going to blow smoke up your butt. She's going to like just say it how it is. And she's also just going to like listen. And I think that that's what is so different with you versus sometimes people that are just like always like sell. Like you really genuinely care about the person.
Yeah.
And that's different from a lot of people, I think, in this day and age in general. And, you know, for me, like I keep my circle super close. But like when we met too, like I came home and I said to Chevy, you know, I went on this trip with these girls and we went on this amazing conference with the best agents all across the country. And it was so wonderful. But the best part for me really was like the non-judgmental, just everybody was who they were. And we all were so different, but we were so authentically ourselves.
Yeah.
And there was no judgment. Like how often in your life can you really say that in
rare.
most environments?
It's so rare.
And so like you are such a blessing to those agents, and also the fact that you have like this wealth of knowledge from like all these years.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
gonna make me cry, honey bun.
You're going to be amazing. You already are. But yeah.
Oh man. What's your favorite color? No, I'm just kidding.
It's pink.
I love you. You're so sweet.
So like women in business today, they definitely feel, or maybe we feel, or maybe you felt at some point that you feel like you have to be pushed to a brink in order for you to show up or succeed, or I have to do it this way because of X or because of Y. Is there a point at which you feel like you were pushed to that brink?
I was definitely pushed to a brink. So when I opened up brass tacks real estate back in the day, I was pushed so much from the company that I worked for. There was certain things that I didn't agree with and I didn't want to be associated with anymore or to be a part of.
Yeah.
I didn't want people to say, oh, you work for him or them. And so over a period of time, very short period of time, 6 months maybe, I decided that I was going to be leaving, and I didn't know what that looked like. I knew that I had to, the prior company I worked for made me feel a certain way and wanted me to do business a certain way, and I didn't agree with it. Mm-hmm. And then the financials, as far as my commissions and whatnot, were constantly being talked about that they were changing and going to be reduced and this and that. But
this is all my hard work.
Yet I was the one that was, taking the paid leads, his leads that he paid for and whatnot, the company anyway. I say he.
Sure.
But I worked the leads.
Right.
And I did negotiate houses for $1. I negotiated houses for $30,000 for him. And, you know, it's really hard when I'm the one going in and being the face of the company, basically, and negotiating on their behalf the best purchase price for them. And I'm the one looking at these people.
Yep.
And I know if they listed their home or went another route that they'd get a lot more money for their home.
Right.
But eventually I learned that I could do it my way, and I would explain to them, listen, this is what they would offer. If you were to list it, it would be this much, significantly more. For example, there was one in Rotterdam that I can think of, and it was the company would offer $65,000, and if you were to list it, I bet you'd get 100 at least. Okay, at that time. Yep. At that time, we're talking years and years and years ago. So anyway, I gave them the option. They chose the cash offer, the $65,000. Sure. And so at least I knew that they had one of, you know, when they decided to go that route, that's fine. And so.
But it just wasn't aligning with your values, it sounds like.
It was not. I didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I was not happy there. And nobody in my neighborhood even knew that I was a real estate agent, really. Right. He was my only client. And so anyway, I decided that I was going to open a brokerage. I was going to have my own voice. I was going to have my own brand. I was going to do my own thing. And ultimately, I decided to leave and open Brass Tacks.
But that lesson and the fact that you worked with someone that taught you what you didn't want was ultimately what made you successful.
Yeah.
because you had to go through that in order to know what you wanted next, which I feel like is where you are now.
100%. So I went through all of that. I was with them for 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
They were my only client. There was a few people that I worked with in between, but that was frowned upon because if I was working with them, that was taking away time for buying them.
Okay.
And so I became bitter. And wanted to be able to again, have my own voice, have my own name and whatnot. And so I had like blinders on. I didn't even want to go to another brokerage. So opening up my own was the pushing point. And I did it.
Yeah.
I did it with no clients. So opened up my own brokerage.
So proud of you.
Not even realizing. You guys, I was so blinders.
You can't know everything that, if you know everything that goes into it, you would have never done that.
I probably wouldn't have. But I thought if I went to another brokerage that they would want me to do certain things, want me to show up certain times, and I was not going to let anything tell me what to do.
I totally get that.
And so I was like, okay, I'll open my own.
Yeah.
I'll do my own thing and I'll figure it out. And in the first year, 0 clients, I still did $5 million. And that's something that is absolutely incredible because I think there's people who are just starting real estate and they're like, how do I, I'm hoping to do a sale. I'm hoping to do 10 sales.
Yeah.
And so, being able to tell them what to do, hit the ground running.
Yes.
Start with your sphere of influence. I know that's like so
true.
But it's true. And talking to the people that you know and love and trust and asking them to trust you and referring you to other people. Because you know what? When you're with a company, let's just say you're any company, really, and you're just starting out, they're going to teach you. You're going to have the backing of like, for example, let's just say with me, if you're a brand new agent and you have me coupled to work with you,
you're more likely to succeed.
You are going to know what to do, and you can let your seller, your buyer know that you have the backing of the manager of the office who's going to work the deal with me.
Right.
And I'm not going to be alone.
Yeah.
I'm going to be right up alongside of Heidi, and she's going to help negotiate the deal.
Absolutely.
I have actually this going on with a brand new hairstylist, Jessica. Love you. You are a full-time stylist and a real estate agent trying to make it in this business. And so she got a listing appointment.
Perfect.
We went on the listing appointment together. I've helped every step of the way with her, even though she's a hairstylist, not always reachable during the day because she's got her hands in hair, right?
Exactly.
I look like I'm cooking though. But she, she knows that she can go and tackle a listing appointment and get the deal. And I'm going to be there to help her through the whole transaction, even though she might not be available. And I'm going to teach her and make sure that she can be successful and be referred to the next person and the next person and know that you have that backing.
And that's what I don't think people realize. So just some background. When you're a real estate agent, you are a 1099. You literally have no health insurance most of the time, unless you're like an admin or something like that.
If you're at Howard Hanna, we offer health insurance, just so you know.
But maybe you can get some. So that's awesome. So that's good. But you literally are make or break your own schedule. And I so resonate with like, you didn't want to be like told what to do. You wanted to do it your own way. You saw things that you didn't agree with, that you didn't feel were like right at the core. And I think that is the right way to be, because at the end of the day, okay, now you got to do that. You had all that experience. Now you can lead others because you know what it really takes to run an entire team, an entire office, other people. Yeah. And now it's not it's like that give back. I feel like it so perfectly suits you. I mean, I do. I just think like you are such a giver in general that like it makes sense. And I've said to people in the past, like, if you need me to come on a listing appointment with you, call me.
Yep.
Because all you really need is like that 1 through 3, like your first 1 or 2, 3, and then you've got it.
Yep.
But like all that person knows at the table when I show up with you is that I'm just your teammate. They don't need to know that I sell more than you or you don't do as much as me. That client has no idea. All they know is our collective whole is really, really strong.
Yep.
But it's crazy how many people like don't do that or feel like shamed or guilty or...
The shame, I think, is something that's very a powerful word, and they shouldn't.
No. Like, because... So it's like the difference between like $1,000 in your pot or 0, let's say 0. you don't go on the listing, or you go on the listing, you totally fail, you bomb. Okay, that's $0 versus you have me show up with you, I'm your teammate, and now you're talking about like a $10,000 swing.
Right.
Just have the teammate go with you. Like,
right.
when
No
you look at it
shame.
like that,
Learn.
it's 100% a win.
Exactly.
Like, it's simple, and I think we overcomplicate things as a society versus like how it should be, or like we didn't make it if we don't do it on our own. But honestly, like, everything's relationships. And if you don't have other people to help you, how are you ever going to get there?
Exactly.
You're so much stronger as a collective unit.
And that's something that I love being in the office. Like, already I'm planning for January and for the year and how I want to do things differently in the office for our meetings alone. Just a meeting, a sales meeting I want to do completely different than I've been doing for 6 months.
I love it.
And it can be fun. It can be educational. You can pull away some nuggets to help you your business that week or two.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what might transpire. Connection's important, family's important, and number one, in my opinion. And absolutely connecting with the kids, the tubby time. I think that I personally love the massaging.
Yes.
I do Reiki for
awesome.
Yes, I need it. That I try to do once a month as well. For an hour, it's beautiful. Sets me free.
Perfect. So find something you love heading into 2025, something that relaxes you and takes away the stress, even if it's nothing that costs anything, a shower, a coffee in the morning, whatever it may be, like, fully commit to it. You want to go get the best creamer ever? Go get it, girl. Go get that creamer.
Best creamer ever.
And like, make that coffee so enjoyable because that's like the start of your day.
100%.
Or finish the day super relaxed.
I love it. Well, thank you. We'll see you next time.